Hello, welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days, and we are looking at the week of Monday, December 30th to Sunday, January 5th. So we're straddling here. Happy New Year to everyone, at least in this Western system. I will talk about some astrology this week. It's a little bit quieter than it has been. And then the cards, and then we'll end with a Tree Keeper's Oracle card. As always, take everything with a grain of salt. If it resonates for you, wonderful. If not, leave it behind, because it's all about developing your own intuition, following your own guidance. So this is just a little help in that direction. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and I so appreciate you being here. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome for the first time if you are new. So this week we do have a new moon, and it's unusual because this is the second new moon in a month, and this time it's the new moon in Capricorn. Of course, that goes with the sun being in Capricorn now. And you know, that's the serious sign, very practical. It can have a good sense of humor too. I mean, it is connected to the goat, right? Pan, the playful one. But hardworking, good at business typically, can be good at organizing, getting things, you know, structured and accomplished. And then we go through the Aquarius, the far out there, humanitarian, lightning bolt, genius, and eccentricity Aquarius, and then through the very gentle Pisces, the mystical, the everybody blending together, and then we get into Aries, the rebirth, the start, the infant, and the warrior. Can be a very strong energy, very courageous. All right, so on the 2nd, Thursday, we do have Venus moving into Pisces, and Venus loves Pisces. It's very dreamy, very romantic, very able to blend with another, can make you a very good listener. It can also make you want to indulge in things that alter your consciousness, so you want to be mindful about that. And you know, if it goes a little to the dark side, can make a person want to be secretive. So you know, the best way to use it is to be close to someone, and I think to be very creative and listen to your own guidance. Also that day, Thursday the 2nd, we have Mars opposing Pluto. Now that's a much tougher kind of energy. You know, again, Mars rules Aries. It's that warrior, that leader. It can be my way or the highway. And Pluto is a very powerful planet. It can be about destruction because it's about transformation. So if it has to break things down, it will. So that can be a very combative kind of energy. So, you know, it can be also good for getting some things done. Just remember not to get into willful confrontations with people or even yourself. Then on Saturday, the 4th, we have the Sun sextiling Saturn, and that's a much easier energy to work with. It can be very good for restructuring our lives around concrete objectives, realistic decisions, disciplined work. It can make a person feel very loyal and, in general, hard-working. So those are our aspects for the week, the big ones anyway. And now I'll look at the cards, and I've got a new deck, and hold on for a second here. Oh, I think I forgot. Here it is. It is the Old English Tarot. This is gifted to me by a dear friend. And Maggie Neen, I'm going to pronounce her name, I think it's a silent K there at the beginning, is the creator of this one. So for our week in general, we have a lot of pairing going on. We have a couple of knights, we have a couple of swords, we have a couple of coins, which would be discs or pentacles, and a couple of majors and a couple of sevens. So there really is a lot of pairing, and that was happening a lot earlier in the year, but hasn't for a while. So we begin our Monday with that new moon in the energy of the Empress, the number 3 in the majors of the tarot. Bountiful, the very generous and kind mother, very creative kind of energy. The dark side can be a little smothering, the other side of the mothering. But you can see how she has her shield, her throne, her scepter, even her angel wings. That's a kind of a new twist on the Empress, at least for me. And her wonderful sort of red shoes, orangey red shoes, makes me think about the red shoes tale. So, you know, a wonderful energy, and it does fit this new moon in Capricorn well, because that, you know, you can make your new moon wishes, and Capricorn can help with that, structuring a new abundance in your life. Then we move to a very different energy on our Tuesday, and this is our New Year's Eve here, that, you know, many around the world celebrate. And on this day we have the 7 of Swords. So to me right away that says we want to watch for illusions. We also, maybe I mentioned it, have a couple of 7s this week. And so this will fit with the Chariot that comes up later. But this one often is, what do I really want? And do I really believe I can get what I want? And so that central sword, this comes from the Angelis Arians tarot book. And she describes it as that is the thing that is wanted by the self, that is desired, and the other 6 swords can be the excuses that we use to not allow ourselves to have that, to believe we can't have that. So you see this kind of tiny dragon, even a small flame doesn't, I'm going to bring it up closer, doesn't even reach our knight here. So that to me is that kind of illusionary part of this. So, you know, consider what it is that you really do want. And of course, you know, we have that tradition of making new goals, affirmations, expressing our desires on New Year's Eve. So just, you know, be true to that and do believe that they can happen, even if they seem way out there. By the time we get to Wednesday, we're in a different energy, and now we're into the Earth. And to me, that aligns a little bit more with the Empress. It's practical, concrete, getting, you know, objective things done. This one, it's a little bit of a desiccated landscape. We're into the winter here, right? We have these beautiful colors, these golds and blues and earth tones here, but the 5 can carry an energy of the human lessons. It's connected to the Hierophant and all of those things that you know, can challenge us, and this one is worry. So there does seem to be an interesting bridge from our December and our new moon and over into our January and our new year. I mean, personally, I find it much more exciting to have the new year be the spring equinox, the vernal equinox. But you know, traditionally, this is what we do. That other one's an earlier tradition. So watch for the worry. Again, that can be, you know, where is this new year going? Obviously, there's some political shakeup happening, but you know, don't indulge in that. Try to realize that you're okay, you'll continue to be okay, and you know, to put your energy into positive expectations. When we get to our Thursday, now we've moved into the air energy with the swords. So this is a mental kind of energy, and our knight, he's in quite lovely regalia here. His horse is lifting up. He has a pretty calm face, but he can be a little hasty. That's the one thing about the Knight of Swords that's a bit on the dark side. There can be an energy of severing, sometimes too quickly. So, you know, it's a good mental energy. It can move things forward. It can bring in clarity and thinking. Just be mindful of the hastiness. We're back to our coins by Friday. And this one is a really wonderful energy. So we've got double that 5, this time at the 10, and this is such wealth. It is generally seen as a happy home. We have a couple sitting here. The table's laid for a feast. They're turned toward each other lovingly. We have some animals below. I think they're supposed to be dogs watching over them, and everything is good. So that's a really nice energy for our Friday, maybe the end of the work week. Back to another knight, this time one of wands, the batons of the wands here, and he's holding the wand, again in lovely clothing, beautiful pictures. This time the horse is more grounded. We have only one foot up into the air, so that at least 3 are down there. And it kind of makes sense because the masculine elements are considered the air and the fire, and the more grounded ones, of course, are the water and the earth, what we consider the feminine. And that's neither, you know, good nor bad. They're just different. They all need to come together. So this wand is nice in terms of his scepter because it's branching, and that feels like it gives choices, and it can be very passionate, very fiery, very creative kind of energy coming in on Friday. So it could be that we get some new ideas with that first night on Thursday. We get some really happy grounding energy on Friday, and then by Saturday we have some new ideas about where we'd like to go. And then on Sunday, there's that second 7, the Chariot that I mentioned would be connected to that 7 of Swords. Now this can be very much ready to go. It can't even be hasty, but I often think of it as preparation. And this particular charioteer looks quite composed. One horse looks a little, I'm going to just say it, anxious. The other one looks a little more steady on. So there could be both of those energies. But it can be a preparation to move forward too. And that seems like a pretty good energy for our Sunday, January 5th. And really, you know, that'll be the first work week into our new year. So I hope that helps everybody. And again, a general kind of balancing of masculine and feminine, different elements and energies for the week. So we will finish up with an oracle card from the Tree Keeper's Oracle, and what jumped out, and it literally did, you know, we call them jumpers in the tarot world. This one just wanted to come out, and it's 21, Keeper of Fairy Tales. I love fairy tales. Before there were humans, there were stories. The trees told them to each other in a language the moon taught them. Their favorite stories were fairy tales, and they've been inspiring humans to write and tell them since the first human walked into a forest. But fairy tales are special. Like the rings inside a tree, they hold secrets to the past and premonitions of the future. A book isn't simple paper and glue. It's a portal. And a fairy tale, it's like a magic carpet ride through the gates of myth. Indulge them, study them, live them. For if you seek a fairy tale with all your heart, someday you'll become one. And I just love that. And I feel like that's such a good way to think about this first week, this transition from 2024 into 2025. And, you know, I just feel like there's a big energy shift that is happening in people's consciousness. People are waking up and, you know, trying to work more locally, make more community, care for the self and others. So, beloveds, I'm wishing you the best possible 7 days. Please do, as I mentioned before, like, share, subscribe. It's free. And if I can help you with a reading, if you have questions about what that would entail, please reach out. There's information in the description box below and at the end of the video. See you again in 7 days.